You know, it was just on a whim that I decided to boot up Halo 2 Anniversary this afternoon. They've got that new Halo 3 FFA playlist in there, and I was thinking, all right, we're going to do that. But for whatever reason, Halo 2 Anniversary grabbed my eye, and man, I forgot what a pretty game this was. H2A was what won the crowd over, I think, when they were showing off MCC back at, was it 2014 E3? I think it was. Back then it was like Dan Ayub on stage saying, just the way you remember. And then that November, it was not the way we remembered. But now I can say that statement is a lot more true, and it's a lot more like that. Halo 2 Anniversary. How is it in 2019? Well, it's playable. It's really tough to find matches consistently for 8s, but in 4v4s, you can find matches in the US pretty regularly. In terms of MCC right now, most players, I would say, are still in Halo 3. Why? Well, there's a competitive push right now for Halo 3. You've got Dallas coming up. There's going to be an FFA event at Dallas, and they actually just put into MCC a new FFA playlist, 110% movement speed, no radar. It's all set up so you can train and get ready if you're going to go compete at Dallas, which, by the way, I think that would be really, really fun. And if I could actually afford a plane ticket, that's always been a dream of mine, to compete in a Halo tournament at some level. I know I would get thrashed, but just the fun of going and seeing people and playing in that environment would be so cool. I remember there was a Halo buddy who went to the same university that I did, and the very last semester there was a Halo 4 2v2. And man, he invited me, he's like, let's team, we could do this. And I turned him down because it was right during finals week, and I had a few classes that were straight up do or die. And I was like, no, dude, I need to focus on school. And I always look back to that, and I'm so upset because I'm pretty sure we could have, A, won that thing, and B, it would have been a lifelong memory. So Dell Elementary, if you remember, bro, I should have done that H4 2v2 with you. Okay, Halo 2 Anniversary. This is similar to the video we talked about this last week, Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, where it's not really Halo 2 Classic with a fresh coat of paint. It's a reimagined version of Halo 2 Classic, utilizing the Halo Reach engine, or Halo 4 engine, I should say, with a new coat of paint and balance settings that evoke the feelings, the memories, the thoughts of Halo 2. But it plays completely differently. You don't have the super bounces, you don't have the button combos, you have hit markers, the whole engine is completely different, so ultimately it actually doesn't feel like Halo 2 Classic to me at all. The movement speed is totally different. The only thing that's similar is the maps, and even the maps have been changed and made a little bit more modern. However, that doesn't mean it's a bad game. In fact, I think it is really fun. I've talked about it previously here, where Halo 2 Anniversary is the best representation of a classic/modern Halo. What I mean by that is no advanced mobility, old school legacy movement tech, but in a modern engine with some of those modern features. The one thing I will say, and I stick to this, hit markers should not be in Halo. I seriously believe that hit markers coming into Halo, I get it's a feature that's useful for newer players, but it completely destroys the cadence of gunfights. Halo is all about gambits and guessing whether your opponent took damage from that grenade that you threw around the corner. When you know that your grenade connected and that the opponent around the corner is weak because of hit markers, it allows for cleanups so much more. There's far less gambles, there's far less of that technical knowledge, that guessing game, where you have to make the commitment to push into that room. Did that grenade connect? Is he 3-shot? Is he 4-shot? And that's part of the fun and a lot of the depth and the skill curve in these older Halo titles, is that kind of game sense and game knowledge. And hit markers, I think, kind of do away with some of that beauty, some of that mastery. But that's just my 2 cents. In terms of Halo 2 Anniversary, how it was received back in the day, it was received all right. I don't think anybody lost their mind over it, myself included. I played a lot of it. I think it's a ton of fun. Competitively, it actually played pretty slowly. The objective game types were pretty good, but I do remember right when HCS was getting going, there were some extremely slow-paced matches. And for whatever reason, I believe Lockout Slayer was in the rotation. And if you've ever played a high-end game of Lockout, you know those matches can grind to a halt as players just try and desperately not get picked off as matches go on. I always think in Pro Halo, the most fun stuff to watch is objective, because it forces movement and it forces action. When you have Slayer on maps that promote really safe play, like Lockout, then it ultimately becomes a bore fest, and it just becomes very slow paced. You can't blame the pros, they're doing everything they can to win, but ultimately you've got to look at the map and see maybe Slayer is not the perfect fit for this game type. Now, Halo 2 Anniversary, like I said, spiritual kind of successor, never really represented Halo 2 Classic, but if you had H2A with a wider variety of maps, there wasn't a whole lot in the BTB side of things, and BTB for Halo is so core for the casual player base. It's such a pick up and play with your friends kind of a thing that if you don't have a lot of maps and you don't have a lot of variety there, I don't think you have a ton of longevity, which is part of H2A's kind of, I guess, H2A's lack of long-term engagement or lack of sort of lasting power, because every time I upload it, there's a lot of people that don't even know what this game is. They've never seen it before outside of maybe the E3 event back in 2014. It's safe to say that H2A, the multiplayer side of things, is pretty small with a fairly tight map pool and not a lot of variety in the game types available to you. That's not a problem when you think about it launching with the Master Chief Collection, which brought with it a ton of stuff, right? Lots of games to play. But when I look at H2A and that model, I talked to you guys about Halo CEA, telling you how much fun I had with Combat Evolved Anniversary, and I think H2A, if it would have gotten a few new maps like coming down the pipeline or long-term support, it probably would have been really well remembered, and I think a lot more classic Halo fans probably would have played it and celebrated it long-term. Okay, speaking of classic Halo, Halo Reach, the PC flighting, and I believe the MCC flighting, it was intended to start having its flighting happen in April. Sketch came out and tweeted that some things are not really in place just yet. They're still working on it and they don't have an exact date. So it looks like April, well, obviously because it's May now, April is not the time when PC Reach and MCC Reach flighting is going to begin. Hopefully May. If you want to sign up to be eligible to test PC Halo Reach and MCC Reach and give your feedback to 343, you're going to want to join the Halo Insider program. The links for all of that will be down in the description below, but please, the sooner you sign up, the sooner you have the chance to give your feedback to 343 and help shape the future of the Halo franchise. I know I keep covering this in all my videos, but it seems like in the comments, there's always a few people who are like, what is this? I haven't signed up just yet. And to the folks over at 343, all I can say is take your time and do it right. We saw some screenshots of people in the studio playing Halo Reach on PC, on an ultra-wide monitor, with some FOV tweaks, and my goodness, am I excited. It is starting to look so good. Reach, and they even played on like Battle Creek, so I'm super excited because last time I told you guys, CEA, one of my favorites, so if we can reinvigorate some of that classic stuff, Halo Reach on PC, or just when Reach gets into the MCC, so exciting. It's gonna be a great summer for Halo fans, I think, because of this MCC support, and who knows what's coming at E3. That's hopefully gonna inject some more lifeblood. If you guys haven't been playing MCC, again, I need to encourage you, there's a really active community playing it, not just because you have competitive events that are still flowing for Halo 3, but just because there seems to be a shot in the arm for old school Halo players. There seems to be a lot of momentum around it, and you can find matches even in pretty obscure playlists, and that includes Halo 2 Anniversary. If you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel, follow me over on Twitter at BBKDragoon. I'd love to talk with you over there. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you again very soon.